I like telling stories. I had thought when I was in college that I might be a filmmaker. I did a few years of filmmaking and realized that I kind of didn't like messing around with the camera. This was, back in the day before digital, so I had a bunch of camera mishaps with the light meter and film turning out terribly. So between that and knowing that I have to deal with sound people and actors and stuff like that, not that I don't like collaboration, but it showed me that that it could be easier to tell stories, and by doing comics I could tell my own stories and be in control of everything, from the pacing to the acting and the lighting and everything. So I guess you could say it's my egomania that keeps me from doing anything else. Read as much as you can, watch as many films as you can, really immerse yourself in the medium. I think there's a lot of people who get into comics simply because they like Spider-Man or Superman, and that's not really a great reason to do comics. That can burn you out pretty easily. The reason to do comics is because you love them. As a kid, I was mostly reading Marvel comics, so I think the ones that really captured my imagination were like Fantastic Four by John Byrne, and X-Men stuff from like the mid '80s, like Paul Smith was drawing, and Bill Sienkiewicz on New Mutants. I think they really were elegant comics that told really cool stories, and they kept me, they kept my interest, but they were so well told, and the level of craft that was in them was really, really high. The first book I published, I think the first published work was probably in the Big Book of Grimm fairy tales. I was working at DC at the time, and I was on staff, and they can be they're very strict about letting staffers draw for their books. So I felt pretty lucky to be able to do like a couple pages. It was like a Red Riding Hood story, and finally getting this giant book, in my hands, with my name in it. It was really thrilling, and just kind of, for me, solidified the idea that I could do this for a living.
How would you describe your style?
Hopefully clean, graphic, organic, and focus on characters.